to be the man, you got to beat the man. And I'm saying, woo! You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo! Styling and profiling. Woo! Showtime.
Welcome to Defend the Hustle. Buffalo always keeps it a buck.
I can guarantee you most of the audience is gonna agree with me before they agree with you.
Lock in, because Buffalo is about to
crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
Go ahead and
right here, right now.
You go ahead.
subscribe and share now.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Defend the Hustle. Tonight, our special guest is Dennis Woodbine. If you've been a follower of this show for the last 3 years, you should be familiar with our guest. The last couple of times we had him on the show, he really brought it, dropped gems just like we like it. And if you need anything, any information about repairing your credit or how to build your business from scratch, this is the guy. So get your questions together. Put them in the chat. I'm going to highlight them for him. The panel also have a bunch of questions. And the good thing about our guest is a lot of times we don't even have to ask the questions. He just have follow-on information to just drop gems. So I've been trying to get him on the show for over a year. The last time he was here, I got a few messages from people about when would he come back and this and that. But RJ has a lot of entities going on with his business, so it's hard to get him on. So when we do get him on, we try to keep him for a while. So this show, we normally stay here about an hour, 15 minutes, but this show could go for an hour and a half. It all depends on what type of questions you all dropping in the chat. And one thing about RJ, he don't mind sharing. So don't be reserved, don't be shy. You know, put your pride in your back pocket. Put the questions in the chat, and you should get the answers that you need to with your situation. So, panel, go ahead and introduce yourself, and we'll get around to our special guest.
I'm Chris, one part of the Glass City Pickers, part-time reseller, full-time everything. You dig? So I like to say, what's up, Good Friday, to all you good people that came out here to play with us and hang with us and chill with us on this Good Friday. So I like to say, God bless and thank you for my guy to come out here and hang out with us, because I got some questions for you, man. I ain't gonna put you on the spot, I promise you that, but I'm gonna ask some questions because I want to know, not because nobody else want to know. I want to know. So happy Good Friday, everybody.
Well, I'm the middleman picker, part-time reseller, full-time truck driver, veteran. I'm selling on multiple platforms. So welcome everybody in. Thank you for coming out this Friday.
All right. For everyone that's new in the chat that don't know me, I am Buffalo Picker, part-time reseller, full-time federal employee, also retired military. I currently sell on Amazon, Walmart, and eBay. Before we get into our special guest and let him give his introduction, because like I said, this show right here is going to be filled with information referencing your credit and building your business credit, and also establishing your business from scratch. I mean, this guy right here is definitely a blessing to have on this show. Whether he know it or not, I mean, definitely been trying to get him. He understand. I've been sending him messages back and forth, since January to try to get him on the show. He just found time to come out and be with us. So let me give a shout out to the chat, and then we're gonna get right into it. Jessica Dumpster Girl, appreciate you coming out. Flip Flops and Lollipops, thank you all for coming out. Spirit Junkie, thank you for coming out. Nanny Davis, thank you for coming out. Carrie, thank you for coming out. KL Keith, thank you for coming out. All in one package. Everybody know that's Miss Buffalo. Florida Girl Picker, that is Miss D Millerman. Thank you for coming out, Patrick. Even just for flyby, man. Appreciate you coming out supporting the channel. Mel's Flips It. Thank you for coming out, Mel. Mel is you're not checking her out. She's on TikTok. That's where we met up at. Go out and like and follow her on TikTok as well. So let's just get into it. Dennis, go ahead and open it up. Tell us, how you got started, how we maybe throw in the story how we even met, and then we'll get into the topic for the night.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Hey, everyone. My name is Dennis Woodbine. Business enthusiast, business starter, a lot of business entities from back in the days to now where I am right now. A lot has happened since the last time Buffalo and I kind of connected. Buffalo and I kind of met through my babysitter. She's actually Buffalo's sister-in-law. And, when I was in the game of doing picking and kind of going out and reselling as well, she was like, hey, you got to connect with my brother-in-law because he's doing the same thing on Amazon. And, definitely connected. We all started sharing some stuff. I wasn't lucky enough to go too deep into Amazon. I wasn't getting through the barrier. I think when I came in, Amazon wasn't really letting anybody in like that anymore. It was like a real tough time. And I said, man, I kind of moved past that and went to like renting cars. So I was selling stuff, eBay, left that. Basement flooded out, so I shut that down. Lost some money there. Then went to renting cars. Started off. I think when Buffalo met me, I had like 3 cars. All 3 of those cars, I think I was in like about 25,000 in buying all 3 cars. I tell you right now, the one thing about business is you're not gonna make money on the first try because I definitely lost money on all 3 of those cars. But towards the end, I got to like Buffalo remembered me at 10 cars, but I was at 25 cars. I had 25 Priuses on the platform, hire car renting. So I might have lost those first 3 cars. I lost some money on that, but I gained that money back easily with the rest of the cars. Sold all those cars, got out of the car renting business, doing full time government contracting now in real estate. Got a couple looking at getting another property for Airbnb. Got one property down in Florida on Airbnb. So just doing a lot of that stuff, man. Government IT contracting now, financial stuff. So anything we can talk about, I'll be here to just talk about. And the key thing about me and what I'm going to share with you, I'm not sharing with you information about what I'm researching out there, nothing like that. What I go through is what I pass on to everybody. So if I'm telling you something, it's because I've been through it and I know it's possible, or I know it's difficult, or I know there's a way out. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm gonna just tell you it the way it is and how I've gone through it.
All right, we'll give a shout out to Save Here First, Ella. Thank you for coming out. Shout out to I'm gonna resell it. Appreciate you coming out, brother. Uh, I think we supposed to link up. If you're still touring, I think the last time we talked, you was traveling. So if you back in the United States, man, give me a shout out. Let me know where you're at. So when you say you got the contract in for your IT is that with the federal government?
Yeah, yeah. So, one of the things that we kind of started out here with is I started out 5 years ago, really small in the game. Kind of opened up my own IT contracting company.
Right,
Simple stuff. When you're doing this stuff, you get your EIN, you get your, your cage code, you get your duns and bars number, and all those little things. So, really starting out really small, getting on a few internal contracts to now where we've gotten a subcontract as a named sub on it, which pretty
right,
much means that being a named sub, I get to use that as past work as opposed to all the work on my regular resume. I
right,
can't really use that as past work. So
right,
got in that game, got lucky to connect with some people at a company in Baltimore called Fearless Tech, and they brought me in. They allowed me to put some subs on there. So steadily growing. We just got the company certified as a hub zone company, which pretty much means we're located in a historically underutilized business zone. And so the government will kind of set aside contracts, but at the same time, it might be set aside, but you still got to hustle to go get it. It's not just
right, right,
a handout
right,
to you. You know, so yeah, government IT is where I am right now. Real estate as well, looking to close in on another property soon. So looking at some duplexes right now. You know, just
Okay. The
yeah.
reason I asked that was because that's one of my responsibilities with the federal government. We do background investigations for contractors working federal contracts, and I know that you know, a lot of people come in as a sub and then eventually get to that bag as being the prime on those contracts, and that's where the real money at. So I mean, congratulations, man. And if that's your goal to eventually get one of the prime contracts, man, we might be talking to a future millionaire right now.
Man, I'll be honest with you. Right now, I'm good with just subbing, man. And if
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
any of your people listening here, that you know, truckers in it, because again, government contracting isn't just IT. There's like trucking, there's
Oh
cleaning
yeah.
companies, there's everything out there. There's HVAC. But one of the biggest things about the government, if there's any truckers out there that's thinking about getting into the contracting, is that you know the government is really peculiar about their financials, man. So if you don't have that right financial setup going on in your company where you know you're doing your invoices the way they want it to be done and you are using the correct systems, you know, it ain't gonna work for you. Like QuickBooks is nice, but QuickBooks ain't up to date when it comes to the government, man. You know, so for
Right,
me, I'm good in my little subcontracting corner for right now. We're
right,
gonna see what
right.
happens in the future, but I'm thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, I like I see, man. I see those contracts come across the desk, man, and
Oh yeah,
I mean, those
some
are
big
big
money
money,
right there.
man. I mean, but like you said, you know, the avenue is not just one, you know, career or one type of job. You know, it's several types of jobs that the federal government put contracts out. I know some of it is based on, you know, the trust factor that, you know, they've been basically working federal contracts for at least 5 or 10 years. And most of those guys kind of get rotated back into the rotation for those contracts. And then for the new people coming in to get those contracts, you know, you just got to have some stability for you even to be considered for those contracts. A lot of people think, oh, it's all about the bid. That's just one portion of it. You know, that ain't the whole scope of what they look at when they're trying to bring you in on those contracts. But yeah, man, you know, congratulations. You know, wherever you know you at with you know those types of you know jobs where it's the sub or the prime. I mean, you still get into the bag. Um, So shout out to Jennifer Hayes. Appreciate you, Jennifer, for all what you do for the channel. And we gotta talk too. So try to do something special for you. Just want to make sure you're in agreement with it at some point this year. Um, so it's just everybody saying hello in the chat. If y'all got any questions, we're gonna go ahead and start with the panel. I don't know what happened to let's see, middleman. There's something. Oh man, we might be on lost middleman for the night. He said lightning hit something outside, and he can't get back on for some reason. So hopefully he worked that out and jump back in. Um, let's see. I'm gonna just send him a message right quick.
Well, I'll go ahead with my question then.
Go ahead, man.
From the last time we spoke, we had talked, you know, that's been a while now. So glad to see you again, all in good spirits. Happy early Father's Day to all the fathers. All right. Okay, bro. Now, I got a question because I'm asking for a friend, honestly, and I would like to know this. And because I told him, I said, man, I got a guy that's going to be on this show I'm on. And he talking about helping people repair to get their credit, get out of debt and stuff like that. And he asked, I said, I didn't know the answer. So I'm going to ask you. He said he's made a statement like, man, you got to go through bankruptcy to get out of debt a lot of times. I said, sometimes you don't have to go through bankruptcy to get out of debt. So I'm going to ask you, when you did the things that you had to do to get yourself up out of debt, did you use bankruptcy or did you go about it another way?
So I worked for a bankruptcy lawyer back in the days. I was an intern. I was actually going to be a lawyer back in the days. And one of my while I was in college, it's funny that you talk about this. That was my internship before I went and took the LSATs to go to law school. One thing I always tell people, it doesn't matter if it's chapter 7 or if it's I think it's chapter 13, because I think that's what it's chapter 7 and chapter 13. I wouldn't recommend any one of them, no matter what. I mean, chapter 7, that's the full bankruptcy. That's, you're pretty much doomed at that point. Chapter 13, I think, is that you're put on a payment plan, but it's still a tarnish. Anything, if you're going into business, and that was my direction. I was going into business. I didn't want anything to be tarnished on there. So to get to your question, which is what did I do? My plan was straightforward. I had to pay it back out of my pocket. So it was me and wifey. I had like $80,000 in debt. That's a culmination of student loans, credit cards, whatever it was. And wifey was there holding it down. So it took a total of 2 years to get it down, but I set the goal as a hard goal because I know if I tried to attain that goal, I was going to get closer to the 1 year mark. And by the time the 1 year was finished, it's going to be a measly thing there, And
Yeah.
my method that I used was I just attacked it like everything else you hear out there. We start off with that high interest, right? Again, $80,000 in loans. We weren't going on any vacations for those 2 years. The goal was, hey, we're not doing anything until the money is clean, until we're clean, no more debt or anything. So there was no vacations, no crazy big things. We still did a little stuff. I mean, the kids still got their birthday party. It wasn't like a big lavish birthday party. We still went out to eat. It just wasn't, the $150 restaurant. It was probably like, B-dubs or something, whatever it was. But my goal was simple. I wasn't going to do bankruptcy, but I was going to pay it off. And every dollar that came in, like I said, that was back when, me and Buffalo were talking. I was doing all the hustling on the eBay, all the eBay money. Every little dollar I made was going back into there. We were pushing all the money into there. I was using the little credit card strategies as well. So I brought down the money some. I went out there, I got the 0% credit cards. I flipped all the money on that. I got about 15 months extra 0% interest. So those credit cards, I was pushing everything on them, trying to get them down, so that was pretty much my strategy. I was never going to do the bankruptcy because I just don't feel like it was an option for me.
Got you.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, because I was telling him, I was like, man, anywhere it go, you're gonna have to pay the money back. It don't matter. So, if you file bankruptcy, if you don't, because I was just trying to say, was it a different strategy for you can go about it? You know what I mean? I was trying to tell him, I said, man, I don't think that'll be a good idea. But like you said, he trying to bundle everything he has right now. He said he did at the beginning was paying stuff off, but he still seemed like he wasn't getting out. He wasn't getting from under it. Mm-hmm. And then I told him, he said that it was a combined, him and his wife combined. Mm-hmm. So I told him, I said, well, hey, the best advice I ever had to give you is, man, I never had that problem. So I can't give you, no advice on that. But I can ask him. I talked to him tonight, and I said I can ask somebody. So
let me ask you this.
What you said.
Does he have a house?
No, he's renter. He's a renter.
Does he have a car that he owns?
Yeah.
So he has a car that he owns outright, like it's paid off, or does he have?
It's paid off.
Okay. Does he have any kind of personal items that the government knows about? The reason why
he work at General Motors.
Okay.
Okay.
So the reason why I ask these things, right, is if he goes that route of bankruptcy. I mean, you're talking about if you go chapter 7 or chapter 13. I gotta remember if I'm saying it right. If it's 13 or 11, I can't remember what it was, but I'm just gonna say 13 right now because I can't remember the exact number. But there are two main ones that are the average citizen uses. So if you go chapter 7, they're cleaning everything out from under you. You can't keep anything, because what you're telling the government is, or what you're telling your creditors is I have absolutely no way of paying you back. So what they're going to do is they're going to take everything from you. So when I was in the law firm, you had to put down every single thing you owned. If you own a car, if you own a piece of paper, if you own a special collectible, whatever it is that somebody could track or they could, use for money, because they're going to try to give the creditors back as much as possible. And that's going to be on your report forever. So you're trying to go and start, if he's trying to start businesses later or something like that, it ain't going to look pretty. But if he's just trying to be a normal 9 to 5 person, him and the wifey, and they're not looking to do anything like that later on, then that might be an option. But then you go chapter 13, if he still wants to retain something and he can still pay back a little bit and they put him on a payment plan, now you're talking about garnishing your pay. So you ain't going to see your pay the way you want to see it, because they're going to garnish it, and there's no way around it. So if it's an option, because it's there, right? But you got to weigh the pros and the cons. If I was just a regular 9 to 5 person and I was probably, 200K in debt, and I'm only making, 80, 60K a year, I probably would file bankruptcy. I'll be honest with you. I probably would.
Like he said, like he told me, he making almost 100,000 right now. So he said when he got the bankruptcy lawyer, and they doing the process. And I think it is chapter 13. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's like he said he was like, I think 40,000, give and take 40,000. I said, and he said the loans for the school is the most. That's 40,000 off on his end. He didn't tell me what his wife owed, you know what I'm saying? But they combined because they joined it. You know what I mean?
Hey, brother, the bottom line is pay your debt, man.
Yeah, I'd say 40 grand in debt, making 100 grand per year. I tell him there's no way, there's no bankruptcy option for him, man. I'll be honest, just straight up, there ain't no bankruptcy option. So
I told him, I said, you just need to start just paying stuff off, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's what I told him.
Let's get to the next question, Count. That's basically the bottom line. Pay your debt, man. What's the next question?
Oh, my next question was, T, hold on. When I get to it, I'll tell. Ask.
I'm saying, man.
Okay, now back to the session at hand.
Trying to get into this.
Hey, Dennis, back to the session at hand. Now, when you said that you went about it another way, now tell me this: what make you jump around different businesses, taking different chances like you do? What strategies give you that? I get to have that gut feeling to say, I'm gonna try something different, because a lot of people don't try things different. People stay in their same little thing, but it seems like you don't care. You will go out there and try anything. So what gives you that, them going to say, I'm gonna try something different, man? What's your strategy on that? Trying something different.
I'll be honest with you, man. My wife and 4 kids. I'll be straight up with you. If you ever ask any of my friends, man, the only thing that drives my motivation is my wife and kids. And I look at them and I'm like, I got to give them something I never had. I'm not going to give them too much because I ain't going to spoil the behinds. But that's my motivating factor. So what's going to make me jump out there and be so scared? It's that I'll tell you real talk right now. There was a time last year I thought I was going to lose this government contract. And bear in mind, this is my only bread and butter. And I'm so fearful, man. I'm to the point where I'm almost crying, because I'm like, dude, I jumped out of a nice 9 to 5 earning a good 6-figure income, and I'm here doing this stuff on my own. But, what you have to remember is, you got to feed somebody. So no matter what it's going to take, you just got to go out there and figure it out. So jumping from, selling on eBay, why did I do that? I wanted to try and make some extra money on the side to pay off debt, to go on a vacation here. So everything I do is to align with something else that I want to do, right? I started doing the car rental stuff because, I wanted to make a little bit more money. So me and the wifey could, put away more in our investment accounts. I wanted to also, I'll be honest with you too, I bought 25 cars so I didn't have to pay taxes. All those cars that I bought, I needed a reason to not give Uncle Sam the money, but also a way to kind of put some more money in the bank account whenever I invested it. So, I had to pass on that money. I sold off those cars and jumped into government contracting full time because I saw the cost benefit, right? You look, when you're in business, it's a matter of, okay, the cost benefit ratio. What's the cost of me putting my time over here and the benefit that I'm getting from it? When I was doing the car rental, I did a lot of the work on my own. So I was doing a lot of the maintenance. I was doing fixing a lot of my own, taking a lot of time from me. And as a business person, the amount of time I was putting in the car rental, I wasn't seeing the return that I was getting from the uh, IT company. So now the IT company is pumping in 10 times the amount of money as the car rental company. What do? Well, you liquidate, you move on, and then here we are now. I'm right here and I needed somewhere to kind of park that money from the IT company. Well, what do I do with that IT company money? The only thing that, you know, people that are wealthy do, they park it in real estate. So when I get to that point now where I'm making more money and I'm putting it on the side, it's like, okay, I've gotten the money to a certain level right now, and there's nothing else to do with it but just to say, hey, let's put it over here. The investment counts are going well, whatever is going good over there. You just find other avenues to put the money in so that that return can keep coming in.
Hey, we got a question in the chat too, and we'll get back to Chris. One of the questions was, is there a resource to actually see what's it's affecting your credit, i.e., drop 13 or rise 11, but it has no activity on the account, no late payments, no charges. You just want to figure out why is his score fluctuating.
Well, your scores are always going to fluctuate, because here's what's going to affect your score. Everything. If you go online right now and you look up the components that affect your credit score, you're going to find, I think it's like 5 major components. 3 of them, I think 2 of them are like 30%. They 30% of your credit, and then the other one is like 20. I can't remember, but it's your credit card debt to debt usage. So you want to keep that under a certain point, and you want to be paying off if you have any crazy things. You can find all of that information online. I won't go through that. But the reason why you're always going to see increase by 13, dropped by 4, is that number one, you're paying the credit cards monthly, right? You're paying your credit cards monthly or biweekly, whatever you're doing. So every time you pay that down, you're improving, right? Or it's that you added a new credit card to your credit card list. So now your credit card usage, as opposed to being you're using $30,000 of $100,000 total in credit card, you got a credit card that's an extra 20,000. So now you got 120 in credit cards. So now your usage goes down, which is going to probably bring your credit score up because you have more credit leverage now. But again, multiple factors. It's not just going to bring your credit up. Something else might play a part and bring your credit down a little bit. So everything you're doing, if you missed a payment by accident, I'm talking about missed a payment, man. I went on vacation, missed a payment, didn't realize that I didn't have a payment. My credit score dropped 50%. I had no idea because I was just on vacation having fun, didn't remember anything. So it happens to us all. And then I just continued paying it off. And in 6 months, my credit went back up, 80%, 80 points. So Buffalo, to answer your question, or whoever asked it, those drops and increases, it can be anything. As long as you're using credit, it's going to go up. If you got a mortgage, if you got a car payment, if you got a credit card, anything you have is going to cause it. Me personally, I keep track of my credit, seeing all those things using is it Credit Karma? Yeah, Credit Karma. Now I don't know if your users know how to lock and freeze their accounts though, because for free, because every time I'm not using my credit, all my 3 credit platforms are locked and freeze. My Experian, my Equifax, my what's the other one, TransUnion. They all have a free way where you can go online and just lock your credit so no one can take advantage of you.
Welcome back, brother.
Huh? Oh, hey, welcome back, man. Yeah, you dropped off, man.
Yeah, so I want to pick it back off the question that Patrick asked. So just say hypothetically, he said he hasn't made any charge to the account or been late with any payment. So in that 30 days, to keep his score from fluctuating, should he make any charges, like a small charge, and pay it off at the end of the month so that it can keep going up or stay the same, or that doesn't matter?
So what's his end goal? Is the end goal to increase your credit score?
I think I don't know. It's just I'm just saying in the
Yeah.
snapshot of that
Oh,
question,
I'm
I
trying to
guess
find
he
the
just
question
frustrated
myself.
because it keep fluctuating.
It's always going to fluctuate. Like I'll be honest with you, I'll check, and you can't keep checking the credit score daily, because you're gonna get frustrated, right?
Right,
You gotta just let it be and use it whenever you need it, right? So if you're trying to control the game, it's like watching a football game from the TV. Like you can't control the game, you can just see it, So the credit score is literally just a game, and you just play it. If you want to increase the score, then there are ways to increase the score. If you're a person with good credit, you're not using crazy amount of credit card debt, and you tell me right off the back, yeah, I only have a $5,000 credit card, but I'm making $100,000 at my job. I'm going to tell you then your credit shot because you're not using it. You want a house, then you need to go out there, show that you can use credit, you're credit worthy. If you're not going to try and use the Dave Ramsey way of, cash only, I'm not a Dave Ramsey person, but I'm definitely a credit person. So what am I
right,
going to do? I got probably $150,000 in credit card. And at any given point in time, it's probably going to be at zero. If I want to increase it, then I probably will just go spend $30,000 on something, and now my price is increased because apparently I got credit usage on there, and then I'll gradually pay that down. So it's a game. It's a game like Ghost Recon or something. You play it, and then you
right.
you you pause it when you don't want to use it.
All right. So, Chris, you got any additional questions?
No, I'll come back. I'll come back.
All right. So, what happened to the debt payoff poll? You still got that, or it's
Oh,
gone?
I love that. Man, I thought about making a poll like that and selling it for something, man.
Oh yeah, man. Shoot, that thing famous, bro.
Hey, that thing is what brought me through it. You asked me how I got through paying that off. I'll be honest with you, man. It was that debt payoff poll that Buffalo is talking about right now, because that held me accountable. And I didn't have anybody to sit there beside me and be like, "Yo, are you doing your stuff?" I needed a way to be accountable, and I just created a poll out of toilet paper rolls and what you call it, paper towel rolls, and every time I went down, I chopped it down a little bit, man. And for your viewers, man, when I got to that point where I was in the green, it was like a red, yellow, green. When I got to the green, I just went into hyper gear, man. So anybody that's trying to pay down their debt, like your buddy over there, Glass City, I would tell them, man, just create a little pole, man, and just chop it down little by little. Because when you see progress, it's like going to the gym. If you go to the gym and after 2 weeks, you see that you got a little buff going on, you're like, shoot, I'm looking a little bit better here, man. Let me go out.
Yeah.
That's literally what it was like for me on that
Right.
pole.
Right.
Gotcha.
So can you speak about, because last time you asked this question, I mean you answered the question. Some people was a little confused. I ain't gonna say, it was only a couple people that asked the question, and they wanted to know, can you go ahead and explain the what was it? The hack for the 800 credit score. What's the hack that you was talking about?
Oh.
Hey man, they remember, man.
Man, oh man, you bring that hack up. That hack was like 3 years ago, man.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
no, so what happened with that, right, is I think my credit score, I think I had my credit score at like a 700 or a 710. And the way how it is, right, there's a lapse in time when everybody reports something, right?
Right,
So Bank of America doesn't report to the credit bureaus the same time as Chase reports to the credit bureaus, right?
right,
Chase doesn't report to the credit bureaus the same time as, American Express reports, and so on and so on. So if you know the dates that these companies are reporting, right? or you can find it out. For me, it just kind of happened, so to say. But if you know the dates that they're going to report your credit, and you can actually track it. If you're tracking your credit daily, and you can kind of see when your credit goes up and down, because Credit Karma is going to tell you, hey, we just got another report from Chase that you paid $2,000 on your credit card or something like that. And what I did was I kind of tracked everything, and I said, okay, I'm going to move all of my money that I had from over to I'm going to create a new credit card. I'm going to get a new credit card. So like, I'm going to go back. Let's say I have $100,000 in credit cards, right? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to let me not use hypothetical. I'm going to use real numbers. Let's say I got $50,000 in credit, or 50,000 in credit, right? I'm going to go out. I'm going to get a $25,000 credit card from some other company, maybe American Express or something, right? But let's say I got $28,000 in O on top of that 50, right? So I only have a balance of 22,000 of usage money there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my American Express 0% down credit card up here, or 0% interest for the next 15 months credit card up here.
Right.
And that's going to give me a total of 75,000 now, right? So now I just bumped up from 50,000 credit to 75,000 credit. But remember now, American Express don't report the same time as Navy Federal, right? So I'm going to take over this, I'm going to take 25,000 of the Navy Federal 28,000 that I owe, and I'm going to move that 25,000 up to American Express. Now remember, if you're following me, I got a total of 75 grand in credit worthiness, right? American Express has reported to the credit agency that they've created a new credit card for me, and I now have 25 grand, and I don't owe them any money. So that's there. Once they report that, I take the money from down here and I push it up here, right? Up to Bank of America. Up to American Express.
Right.
Now, American Express has another 28 days before they're going to report me to the agencies. But it's also coming up to time for Navy Federal to report my balance. Now, remember, I paid off my balance 2 days ago. It's 4 days later, maybe. Navy Federal has updated their systems, and I owe like $3,000 in Navy Federal right now. So when Navy Federal goes and reports to the agencies, oh, he only owes $3,000. Guess what happened? American Express says I owe them zero. And I got 75,000 total. So I owe zero up here. So 75 total. And now Navy Federal just told him, oh, he paid off a big chunk of his money and he only owes $3,000 now. So my credit just shot up because now on a $75,000 leverage or usage that I can use, I now only owe $3 grand. But it only lasts for like a couple of days because guess what? American Express is going to report in the next 28 days that I owe $25,000 on it. So right there now, you're going to see a big drop. So that was just
so basically you get almost a 3-week window to go
have
out
800
and make a major purchase where they can see your credit score high. Yeah, I got you.
And for anybody who's saying, "Oh man, that's crazy," dude, I used it and I got another thing right off the back. Now bear in mind, it doesn't help you if you have if you've gone out and you've done a credit, because everybody does a soft pull or a hard pull on you, right? So if you went out and you got like 10 soft pulls for 10 different credit cards, but you got an 800 score. And nobody cares. They see you as you're still going to be a risk because they can see all the soft pulls on your credit report. Oh, he's going out and he's probably trying to get a whole bunch of credit cards. But if it's like a one-time thing where it's like, okay, you went out and you got it's one credit card agency and you got that card, it doesn't look too bad on you. So that was the situation for me. And with that 800, I went out and I got some more stuff to do what I needed to do to get my debt down some more.
Right. Another thing too, the last time we had you on the show, and like you said, we had these questions coming back because, like I said, it took us a while to get you back on the show. But when you was trying to explain streamline refinance versus refinance, and you saying if you had a house, you would go with the streamline over just the regular refinance. Can you kind of explain that a little bit?
Okay, I think I know. I think I remember what you're talking about, but it's not. Is it streamline financing?
Yeah, he said something about streamline refinance versus the regular refinance, and you would highly recommend that if you're gonna refinance, go with the streamline refinance. But I mean, things could have changed over that time period, but that's what you were speaking of, the last year and a half you was on the show.
Yeah, I don't remember because the refinancing option that I tell individuals like because I did it right was the option
Right,
where we just brought the the interest rate down. Like we kept
right,
the same term, we kept our same term on the loan, we kept our same balance. We didn't take out any more money, and then we just I can't remember the exact name for it, but all you're pretty much doing is you're telling the bank, hey, we just want to come down to whatever the mortgage rate is. Now, me personally, I love Navy Federal for personal loans. If you're a military person or have somebody in your military
hmm,
family, I would tell you to definitely try to get with Navy Federal
right,
because they offer that option. Other banks, I don't know if they offer that option. And what it looked like for me, Buffalo, was this, right? When we bought our house in 2020, we bought it at a 5.7% interest rate, right? So I think we were paying probably close to 3,500 per month for a
right,
mortgage. And so when all the rates started dropping now, we went back to Navy Federal and we got our rates just simply dropped to a 2.7. Now, what did that look for us? Remember, we didn't take out any more money. We didn't add anything to our debt. We just got the rate adjusted down to whatever the
hmm,
market rate was to 2.75 for us. And right immediately, that gave us an extra $900 per month in our pocket. And what did I
right,
do with that? That went straight to the debt payoff, right? So
right,
for me, that type of refinancing, so to say, was the best option that I see. And if you have that option, I say that is the best option, in my opinion, just because you're not paying any money. You're not going to any closing table. A lot of other refinance options, you're going to kind of like a closing table. You got to pay some kind of fees or whatever, and you're going to pull out money or whatever. Whatever it is you're doing, you're probably going to pay some money to that. This
right.
option, there was no payment for it. With Navy Federal, it was just
So
simple
did it
lock in.
affect your equity in the home though? Did it take away from that?
No, the equity stayed the same because remember what
Okay,
happened is I might have had $650,000 home and I probably still owed like I don't know, let's say 400,000 on it. All they were doing is saying, okay, we're going to leave your balance at 400,000. You got 27 years left on the mortgage. We're going to leave it as 27 years and we're just going to change your interest rate because the market says the interest rates are at, 2 point whatever now. And that's it. I didn't pay them any money. I just
right.
gained money at the end, and I got locked into those nice rates that everybody has these days.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Are you still using the or promoting the Vertex website for where you can track your credit, create a balance sheet and stuff like that? Have you used that in a while? Or you
That
don't
was
move
the
on?
that website was what we used to track the debt. And if anybody is tracking their debt, yeah,
Right,
definitely. I don't have it on me right now. I'd have to look back in some of my old. If you still have it from the last time in your notes, then yeah, definitely post that sheet again. That sheet was the backbone to the debt pay down pool right there. That is what was a great asset right there. I would say if anybody's paying it down and you want a good free tracking tool, that Vertex website was it to go to.
okay. I just
Now I know a
dropped
lot of
it.
people talk about, when even in this when you're doing like your pay down and so one thing I want to my opinion, again, I'm sharing my opinions, right? They always tell everybody, hey, uh, have emergency funds. When you're in in a debt pay down crisis, man. There's no emergency funds. That's the emergency fund right there. I'm sorry, if you're in debt right now, screw emergency funds, screw whatever else is out there. You're just trying to pay your money down so you can get out and get the emergency fund built up. So if you got an emergency fund sitting down there, I would just highly tell you to look at it and say, can you just pay that down? Because one thing about debt that I had to look at, because I had an emergency fund, right? I had the money sitting down there. I had like, I think it was like $10,000 or $15,000 sitting there. And I looked at it and I said, shoot, the credit card itself is charging me, 10, 12% per pay period that I owe for every. My money that's sitting in my bank right now is dying because I'm paying this money over here. So what use is a emergency fund, right? So no, I just took that emergency fund and I dumped it at one of the credit cards, and wham, one credit card was off the table for me. I didn't have the emergency fund, but guess what? It gave me more motivation to go out there and hustle because I didn't have that comfort zone back there. Nah. So I would tell anybody, if you're paying down debt, screw emergency fund, pay the debt down and just go, man.
All right, I got one last question, and anyone in the chat, if you got any questions about building your credit, using your leveraging your business banking account, put your question in the chat. I mean, it took us almost a year and a half to get RJ back on here, and I don't know how long it's going to take us to get him back on here again. But
I'm always here, man. I'm always here.
Yeah, but you busy, man. You busy. So I remember
I got
you
one
mentioned.
question.
Hello, who was that?
You
Middleman.
hear me? You hear me?
Yeah, you kind of
you hear me?
out. Yeah.
Man, it's weather. What about now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
They got a delay on it. Oh. My question is, if you had, say, if I had $20,000 to work with, right? What would be your advice in order to grow that 20 grand?
So everybody's going to have their own stance on this one, right? People tell you that the person in the stock market would tell you, oh, you can day trade or something and build that, right? If you got 20 grand and you got debt, the first thing to me is pay the debt off, right? If you got 20 grand but you don't have any debt and you're looking at a way to do with it, the next step would be, okay, what do you do? Like, I think you told me that you were a trucker, right? So right off the back, I know that you can buy a truck head for like 10 or 15 grand, depending on the state of the truck. Right off the back, I would tell you, you invest in what you know, because the only thing that you can make money off of is what you know. If you know trucks and you know that you can go out and you can get a you can get a oh, he dropped off. I'll keep talking.
Right.
You invest in what you know. And the middleman told me earlier that he does trucking. So he knows how to get through the dispatchers. He knows everything. He knows the trucking game inside out. So if that's your game, then what do? You put the money in your game and you reap the benefits out of that. Buffalo is a reseller. He's out here buying stock every day. He's doing whatever it is with his 20 grand every single day. You got 20 grand, you reinvested in what you know. You do that until the point where you're bringing in so much money into what you know that you need to venture out. Like for me, what it was earlier, like I was telling you, I started making the money. Oh, I'll tell you again, middleman. So what I was telling them, no, you're good, man. I know you got the weather going on, right? So what I told everybody and what I told Buffalo was, you started off with what you know. Like I said, trucking, so you know all about the dispatching, you know all about the contractors who do dispatching. You're probably working with multiple dispatchers every time trying to get a load. You're probably trying to run upstate or go over here. My thing to you would be take that money and purchase yourself another trailer head. Bring on somebody, bring on a contractor, bring in somebody, help them get their CDL, sign a contract with them to say, hey, if I help you to get your CDL, you're committed to my company for 1 year. After 1 year, you can go wherever you want, but you want to make sure you make your money back off of bringing that person on. And if you leave within 1 year, you have to pay the license, the cost for the CDL, and you just do that with everybody. Now you have a person who you brought on from your family or from your friend circle or something that who's hungry for the money. If you can at least have that person on for 1 year, you're going to help make some money, right? So you got $15,000 you pay on a truck head. You got the other $5,000 that you're probably going to help them get their CDL, start up, get the paperwork going and everything. And now you get them the first load to go up the, upstate or something, and you continue going on after that. And you keep making that money in what until you get so much money coming into what that you don't know what to do with it. Then you go venture out into maybe buying some mutual funds, maybe buying some treasury bonds, or maybe just parking it in some real estate property or whatever. So that would be my suggestion. Everybody's going to have their own suggestions on that one, and I only tell you that because that's what I did. Every little dollar that came in, I started out with what? Those 3 cars, right? What did I do? The money came in. I went out. I bought 5 more cars. The money came in from those 5 cars. I knew cars right then, man. I knew hire car. I knew Turo. I knew the ins and outs of it. And I knew the money was coming in. So I bought 5 more cars. And every single month, every single 3 months, man, I was probably buying, 5 more cars. And I had 25 cars in the Maryland area. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the Maryland area, but there ain't no parking in the Maryland area, man. There's no parking. So where did I park my cars? I parked them at the casino, free parking. I had like probably 15 cars at any given time parked up at the MGM Grand out there in National Harbor, and so you invest in what the middleman. That would be my take on that.
So I got a hypothetical. I mean, really, it's a realistic question, but for this situation, it's hypothetical. Just say if you was a person that just get into running your business, you got all your documentation in order, and you create your business account. Your credit score is good. Your credit score is high, say 780, close to 800, and you wanted to somehow leverage your business account into basically taking the bank money to build your business instead of taking the money that you are out making from your business. How would you advise that person to move forward?
So you're saying that if you're making the money, like you're making, let's say $20,000 now, and you've been running your business for the last 3 months, you made 20 grand. Well,
Right.
why don't I just leverage other people's money, i.e. the bank, to
Right.
continue funneling money?
Right.
So here would be my question to that, right? Because and this is what I struggle with every day, because I see the money come in and I'm like, well, why am I using that money? Why don't I just go over here and use that money?
Right.
Here's my take on that. If I got 20 grand right now, just sitting in the bank, not doing anything for me, do I want to go out and borrow 20 grand from the bank that's going to charge me potentially 10 to 15%, or 8 to 10%, maybe depending on my credit score, to borrow that money? Because remember, I just got 20 grand sitting over here, right? And then I'm going to go and borrow 20 grand from the bank now. So every payment that I pay back to the bank, right, that 20 grand, think of it as it's chipping away at my 20 grand over here, because the value over here is going down, because all the money that I'm making from the business, rather than putting that extra money on the 20 grand over here, I'm having to chip away at a loan over here. And all my 20 grand is doing is sitting over here. Now, let's think about it a different way, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I got 20 grand and I got I don't know, there's $100,000 house out there, and I can go out and I know, up in Baltimore right now, Section 8 housing is paying, $2,500 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and I got 20 grand sitting here. I know I can go get that house, probably throw 5,000 in there for closing costs or whatever. I can get that house for the 20 grand, and I can start bringing in money, right? Then because you have a better investment option than your own business, that now it's worth it to say, you know what, I'm gonna dump my 20 grand over here, and
Right.
I'm going to take this other loan from the bank because I still need to run my business. But that investment option that you put your 20 grand in is going to bring you bread way more than what you're going to be
Right.
losing off of an interest. So when all is said and done, I tell my buddies all the time is, hey, let's look at what it's going to cost us to borrow it as opposed to what we're going to do with our money over here. If your money is just sitting in your bank account and you trying to borrow money from the bank, be your own bank, lend yourself the money. That's literally what I do. All my business options, Buffalo, all my real estate right now, all the money. And I'm going to tell you how I do it right now. I've become my own bank over the last time since we spoke. I'll tell you what I do. I have a fiduciary, it's Josh. His name is Josh over at Edward Jones. I'm going to give them, some little call out now. What Josh does for me is Josh takes all my business money that I make, right? He takes all my business money and he puts it into treasury bonds, into mutual funds and everything, and he's steadily stacking that money for me. Now, when everything is ready, I go to Josh and I say, Josh, I want to borrow from my money. So let's hypothetically say I don't have this much in there yet. I want to, but let's say I got 500 grand in there, right? I go to Josh and I say, so if a realtor just contacted me from Florida with a deal, $250,000. Josh is going to lend me that money. Remember, I'm my bank. My money stays with Josh. It's still leveraged, right? It's still working out there in the market, whether it's treasury bonds, it's still working. It's still bringing me 5% or 6% for treasury bonds right now. But Josh is going to lend me up to 80% of that money. So I get to borrow up to 80% of my 500 grand. That's still making money for me. And I can go do any deal that I want to do. Now, when I got to pay back interest on my money, Josh, hypothetically, is going to give themselves 2.5% of that interest, right? But if it's a 7% interest, I get back 4.5% to go back into my money. So I pretty much paid myself as the bank. So when you start making your money to that point, it's a matter of just planning. Like, what do you see? What do you want to do financially? So you got to start planning financially. My plan financially, Buffalo, is I want to start going into real estate, but I want to be my own hard money lender. Like, I just got a deal. I just had a realtor call me up from Florida. She brought me over to this two unit multi-property. It was a distressed seller. And I'm like, oh shoot, I got to find a way to get this property. I'm in the position to try and get that property, but I want to be in the position to try and get that property as a cash buyer. So my financial goal right now with all my money coming in from the business is to keep stacking that cash, because in the next, 4 years, all my properties, I want to buy them cash out and do my own, refinancing and, cash out refinancing with them.
Right. Okay. That was my last question. Middleman, if you can hear us, do you have any questions? Seem like you don't froze. And
I mean, I can touch on a couple more.
Like I froze.
Oh, we can hear you.
No, go ahead. I don't want to mess up again. Just go
ahead, brother.
No, talk your thing, man. Talk your thing. What's up, man? Say your things. Well, while he comes in, one thing you were asking earlier about what the creditors and everything, Buffalo, and what I wanted to remind everybody of too is, what you owe on the credit is not set in stone. I've called up creditors and I've been like, yo, I can't pay you all that money. What can we negotiate? Like, what's a good payoff amount for you? So, like Glass City was saying, his buddy is 40,000 in debt. Yeah, your buddy might be $40,000 in debt, but you can call up these creditors and negotiate with them. If you tell them, hey, I'm on the verge of filing bankruptcy, the last thing they want to hear is that B word. They don't want to hear that bankruptcy word. It's like, okay, you know what? how can we help you to get, like, how much is a good payoff, and you start working with them, you'll get to a point where, it might have been 10K, but they might could bring it down to 7,500 for you. You never know. So don't feel like you have to pay what's out there. Pick up the phone and call these people and ask them, how much can I pay? Can I pay off? Because I can't pay you that 10 grand.
Right. Right.
You was gonna say something, Glass City?
Oh no, no, I had some more. I had a couple more questions for you, man.
Yeah, man, go ahead. What's up?
Okay, now you say you're doing real estate now.
Yeah, yeah. I branched out into real estate about 2 years ago. I'm at one of the properties right now.
So your resale game is over with now, right?
Yeah, it's a ladder, man. I moved on from that because it's like I said earlier, it's the time value of money, and the resale, going out to the stores, picking up everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So answer your question. Okay, so how did you go about? You say you got a guy that you're working with now. You called him Josh. That's the guy that you invest in your money with.
No, he invests my money. That's
He
my
invests.
fiduciary.
He invests your money.
Yeah, that's
what
my
I meant. That
fiduciary.
I misspoke. He invests your money.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you go about finding that guy, man?
So the one thing about, as you grow, right, you got to start bringing in people into the circle that are going to help you. The first person that I tell everybody to bring into your circle is an accountant. You can't do anything without an accountant. So you start to get to the point where the accountant can't really help you as much anymore, because the accountant main goal is to be your CPA. Their main goal is to make sure your taxes are filed. And I'll give you a key story, right? My accountant told me, yeah, go ahead. It's okay if you buy your properties in your business name that you currently have. Well, I went ahead and I did that. I bought the property in my business name. The problem is my business is an IT company, and I'm renting my properties on Airbnb. So if something happens to a person in one of my properties, then guess what?
It's liable under your company.
There you go. So your accountant can only help you so far. So once you start having an accountant and you've expanded as much as you can with your accountant, your next step is you got to bring on a financial person, right? This person, you're getting to the point now where your accountant doesn't know what to do with, the money that you're coming in, and you end up paying too much in taxes. Now you need somebody to start help you strategizing and planning. That's where Josh came in. Now, bear in mind, Glass City, every step of the way costs a little bit more money. Like, the accountant, they cost some money. That right there was bookkeeping. That right there was, taxes that's probably costing me an arm and a leg to file. But you get to that point now, and you get to the other door. The other door is you got to go start with your fiduciary. That person's going to start managing all your money, right? You're going to get to the next point now, where I am right now is, hey, you need a lawyer to come in, a business lawyer, to start separating everything for you, to make sure that the government doesn't get too much off of you. And God forbid you go away tomorrow, everything is planned out for the person who's behind you to pick up the pieces. So that right there is how I went about knowing that, I needed the fiduciary, the financial person. I got to a certain point where everything was piling up, and I didn't want to do any more of the investments. Like, you hear all these people talk about, oh yeah, you can go on the, E-Trade or stock market or invest your own money, da 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 da. Man, it takes a lot of brain power to do all of that. And I want my brain power like Buffalo doing right now. I look in his background, I see all of his toys back there, man. That's his brain power right there. His brain power. He knows how to go out and pick the Barbie dolls and pick the action figures. That's what Buffalo needs to do. And in my case, I knew IT and car rental. I didn't want to worry about investing in stocks or investing in bonds. So I kind of just paid the money to somebody to do it for me.
Hey, I'm gonna let T shout out the chat, and then I got another question for you, man.
Yeah, I think I got everybody except for Randy at Moon Valley Craft.
Okay.
I appreciate you coming out. New England Betty Boo, I think I gave a shout out earlier.
Okay. Anyone of y'all got another question? If not, I got one for him.
Yeah, let me throw this out there. Chad, if you got any questions about rebuilding your credit or how you can leverage your credit or your business banking account, any of those sort questions, we have the expert here. RJ has been on the show. This is his third time on the show, and it's definitely long overdue. I apologize we didn't have more people here because the guy, every time he come, he drop a lot of gems on how you as a business person can build your business off of your credit or teach you how to, if your credit is low, how to get your credit up. So if you have any questions, concerns, just drop your question in the chat and we'll highlight it. For Dennis, Chris, you can go ahead. I don't have any questions. He answered pretty much all of my questions.
All right, man. Hypothetically speaking, but real, just some real note. If you're coming into over 7-figure payout, what kind of advice would you give a person on to mostly if to try to keep all that? Where would you go and put it?
Definitely. So if you got any type of large money, right, the first thing that I know myself is I don't know what to do with a large money right off the top, right? I know how to handle 6 figures. That's what I know how to do. So you need to reach out to somebody, hypothetically, we're talking about now, hypothetically reach out to somebody who, knows how to handle 6 figures. And for me, who is that? That's my fiduciary, Josh, So you start off there, you hire somebody to manage the money and grow the money for you until you get to that point where you are now a 7-figure thinker. See, right now I'm just a 6-figure thinker. I don't know nothing about the $1 million range. And if I get into $1 million too early, I don't know what to do with $1 million. But you have somebody in your corner now who is a 7-figure thinker. They can start to, educate you and bring you up to that point. And you can't put a dollar figure on education because remember now, you're going to get to that point. Even if you lose, guess what? Even if you lose $200,000 in a market crash with them, $300,000, guess what? You've now become educated to the point where you can walk away with your 700 grand and you can get back to that 7-figure easily because over the couple of years, that person has educated you. So my thing would be to find somebody, even if you're a 5-figure person, if you come into a $200,000 payout, you still don't know nothing about 6-figure money. So go find somebody who knows about 6 figures and let them help you work to that.
So when he's investing your money, is he actually sitting down, going over the strategies with you, or you give him the latitude to go ahead and invest it how he see fit?
Yeah, no. So what we have is you definitely have to have your quarterly meetings, right? So I got
Right.
quarterly meetings with my lawyer, quarterly meetings with my accountant, quarterly meetings with my fiduciary, right? So Josh, in this case, every quarter, he and I will sit down, we'll look at what the finances are looking like. And if the finances ain't looking good to me, guess what? If it's going on for 2 years and it's not looking the way I want, I'm not seeing the returns that I want, we bounce. You go to somebody else who's going to give you that return, right? So for me, Josh has been good for me, so I stick with him. But those are quarterly meetings, Buffalo. We sit down, he looks at the market, he tells me, hey, Dennis, yeah, you might hear some hype about the market right now. You might hear hype about GameStop. You might hear hype about Nvidia, whatever it is. Okay, but still, the overall market, Dennis, is down. Those are just hype stocks. So he'll look at me and tell me, we're going to stick to treasury bonds. We're going to stick to mutual funds because that's a safe 5 to 6% right now. We're going to get that money back. And when the market overall picks back up, we'll jump back into the market. So those are the kind of meetings that we have every quarter, Buffalo.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I just in life you go through things that you experience and then you go through things that other people experience. And I just know, like, especially a lot of athletes, man, they put their trust in people that manage their money, and they just steal it from under them, and that's what be the factor for me is that, uh, whatever your reputation, I don't care. It's like, I don't think I could sleep too well at night having somebody managing my money like that and constantly, not being a constant on their neck about, hey, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? I think I'll be a boogaboo if I had somebody like that. I mean, I say that now, but you in the mix with it, and you probably be a type of person that I would reach out to get some advice on that, more so than what we're doing in this show.
I definitely will. I definitely will do that.
So I'll tell you something, Buffalo. So what you're saying right now for your viewers is definitely true. You don't give blind, trust. And here's how I alleviate that for me, right? So yeah, Josh got some money from me investing using his firm, because they're a big firm. He's doing that with the money, but that's what Josh is doing. I do a little bit stuff on my own too. When I say a little bit, probably about 30 to 35% of my money is still being handled by me. So, there you have a part of the the making sure that you have a balanced investment portfolio is that you have somebody managing some stuff and you also manage some of your stuff yourself. Now, another key part, remember what I told you earlier in the show, Buffalo, was that even though Josh is investing $500,000 for me, I went and I borrowed $400,000 of that money. So I kind of took back my cash. It's still working for me, but I took back my cash. So Josh really don't got all my money. I took that 400 grand and I went and I paid down on a property, right? So on paper, I still have 500 grand with him that's being invested, but I really took out that money and then I kind of put it back in there when I got the cash out refinance. But guess what I got now? I got a brand new house right now, and I'm gonna keep rinsing and repeating, and just doing the same layup every single time because it's working. Now, when all is said and done, even if Josh runs away with my money, Buffalo, guess what? I got 20 properties, man. So it's all up. I tell my thing always, Buffalo, is you got to have some kind of planning that you're doing. Like you can't just say, oh, I'm just going to put the money over there. It has to be planning. It has to be preparation. You can't do anything without that.
Right. So basically,
yeah,
although Josh is, running, a portion of your funds, the onus is still on you. You don't just put it over there and just forget about it. I think that's, and this person I was speaking of was T.O. And I think that's what he did. He put the money over there and just assumed that guy was going to do what he said he was going to do, And the next thing he found out is guy stole most of his money from under him. So, any other questions from the panel? If not, we're gonna change gears and get into the reseller 411. But before we do that, I want to do one of my giveaways. Any more questions for JR in the chat? If so, go ahead and drop it, and then we're gonna move on to another segment of the show. Oh yeah, for sure. Got to have the checks and balance. Middleman, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
You got any other questions?
No, man. It's the questions I have probably last longer. So you just you want to continue with the show.
Yeah, I mean, you can put, if you got one, you can put it out there, and we can move on. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, I'll leave your viewers, because I know a lot of your viewers are small business people, Buffalo. So I'll leave them with one thing. As you move on, is as like even yourself too, Buffalo. One of the main things that really gave me a lot of knowledge was just understanding financial statements before I went to the accountant. So the more y'all start doing more in the picking and in the trucking and everything, start to understand more about what every financial statement is saying, because the more I understood that, the more I figured out what to do with the money and what I couldn't do with the money. The more what is all the different types of debt that the IRS sees as money coming in, as opposed to what the IRS doesn't view as money coming in, you start to understand, okay, here's what I can do to play the game better. So that's what I would leave everybody is start understanding your balance sheet, your profit and loss statements for the company, for your small business. Even if you're just small and hustling, just still understanding it is going to help you out.
All right.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate that.
So we got 13 people in here. We're gonna do a giveaway. And the first giveaway, let me just blow my screen up right quick so y'all can get a good view of this. And RJ, if you got a little son or something, I mean, you can get in and win it too, man. But this is the item I'm giving away tonight. This is the Iron Patriot, and this is what it looked like on the back. All right, so we have 13 people in the chat. So go ahead and drop. If you're interested in this, we're gonna do the numbers. If you're interested in it, go ahead and drop your number in the chat from 1 to 20. 1 to 20. All right, 1 to 20. We're gonna give a couple more seconds. I'll drop the X's in the chat, and that's it.
I can't do it. They won't let me on here. My number is 14.
Man, come on, man.
GP.
What?
Man.
I
Right.
don't even say that, bro.
Man, this dude right here, man.
I was going to say so. I said, I left it alone.
All right, so this is the number. I think Middleman got 14 and Bill Bixby got 14. Man, come on, man. All right, we got Bill Bixby and the Middleman. So,
oh man.
See who else in here. Okay, so Bill Bixby, what's going on, Bill? And Marie, I forgot to give you a shout out, Marie. Thank you for coming out.
I can't see the chat or nothing, man.
Yeah, so we're gonna go. It's between you and Bill. So from 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Bill, drop the number in the chat from 1 to 10. What you got, Middleman?
They back on it. Don't tell him back on it. He back on it. Don't tell me back on it, bro.
Drop the number in the chat, Bill.
Oh man.
I'm about to bring Middleman to the roulette table with me, man.
Oh man.
I'm about to bring Middleman to the roulette table with me.
Man. Hey, man. Hey, that's your win for the night, Middleman. All right, Middleman, I'll ship this out to you. All right, so the next giveaway at the end of the show is going to be Mankind, WWE, new in the box. This guy right here is going to be probably about $40-something, $50-something. So I have a few of these, so that's why I'm giving one away. So if you know anything about Mankind, you know this is a WWE legend right here. So let's get into the reseller 411, and then we're gonna do a quick discussion about that, and then we're gonna get into closing out the show. I don't want to keep y'all here past an hour and 30 minutes, but I appreciate RJ, which I will kind of close out the show, because every time he comes to this show, he brings gems, and he don't hold back any information. So Maybe next time we bring it back, we'll get our numbers up, man, so you can have a bigger audience. Because the last time you were here, we had almost 60 people in the chat. And there's quite a few people had some questions.
Oh,
I got a
for any
question.
audience, man.
Hey, RJ, you got a son? How old?
I got 4 kids. I got 4 kids, 2 girls, two boys. My boys are
Okay.
like 3 and 7.
Okay. Hey, Buff, if you would like, you send that to RJ.
All right, that's up to you, brother.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. They're gonna
Yeah,
love
RJ,
that.
send me your address in Instagram, and I'll get this
Yeah,
mailed out to you.
definitely. Thank you, middleman. I appreciate it. I'll let them know, man. I'll let them
Yeah.
know.
Thank you for coming out, man. You got a lot of
Yeah,
No, anytime, man. Like I said, it don't matter if it's one person in the group, man. Listening, that's fine by me, man.
right. All right, so the discussion for tonight is, I seen this from Jeff, and I thought he would be in the chat. I was going to give him a shout out, but it's a big article floating around YouTube about the fact that Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and I guess it was Burlington, if I'm not mistaken, they are all starting to walk around
Home
give
good.
their associates body cams to help with theft. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video, and then we'll talk about it.
Reseller 411, the unfiltered truth, telling it like it is. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't.
All righty. Desperate times, desperate measures. So, Chris, you can kick it off. What you think about that? Chris?
He went out?
Yeah, Chris, go ahead and take that up. You got the first take on it.
The take I took, well, I didn't get it for one, and I didn't never see what they was talking about on the video, but I knew from our research we did on it, and I just get it is what it is, man. At this point, man, because look at all the stuff that's closing down, man. All the retail, all the restaurants is closing, retail stores that's closing, man. So it is what it is right now, man. If people keep doing what they're doing, hey, then they're gonna do is start moving the stuff is online. So it's gonna be out of box stores' hands. That's the only thing I got to say about the situation. It's not gonna stop my flow. You know, I don't care if they come with their cameras or nothing. I'm spending my money. I'm gonna get what I need up out of there. I'm going by my business. But for the other people that ain't doing it that way, you know, it kind of looks suspect and look crazy. But it's gonna be what it's gonna be, y'all.
All right, middleman.
Well, I don't think it's really going to deter anything because, like the news article said, it's already cameras everywhere in the store. You know, and you have walking through following you anyway, because you know, and some of the stores they used to follow me in the during the holidays when they see a whole bunch of toys in the cart. So you know. It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna deter them. I think what it's gonna do is put some more people in jeopardy. Who's it gonna scare? Do they have a weapon with the vest on? Most of the time, they got something over their face, like they showed in the camera, in the video.
Right.
So what? How is that gonna stop it? But you know,
Right.
hey, do any measures that will help. You know what I mean? You got to take all the measures you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my take on it.
All right. RJ, you got any take on that one?
Yeah, man. I mean, for me right now, what I go back to thinking about right now is Toys R Us, right? You know, as pickers and as resellers, even when I was doing the stuff, like being able to make sure that these stores stay open is a part of our revenue stream, right? Like, even though we selling online, we got to get the product from somewhere, and if we don't get the product from these big box stores, then we're going to end up having to just resell the returns that we getting from the online stores, which is pretty much our stuff, right?
Right.
So I mean, whatever measures they got to take to make sure that they see a profit. Personally, I think as a person that used to sell, I want them to do whatever they need to do, man. If they think it's gonna keep the money inside of their pockets, do it. Because the minute one more of those stores close down, guess what? That's one less place that we can go to purchase stuff from. We need
Right.
those big box stores.
Right. I mean, like everybody said in the chat pretty much. I actually on the panel is, I mean, the stores already got cameras, and being a person that worked for the federal government in security, I know about different mechanism or mitigating a problem, and sometimes you just can't have enough security. Even though they got cameras hanging up in the rafters, I mean, the cameras on that person is just another layer of security for those stores. And sometimes it's create a false comfort for the customer, but at the same time, it's creating a comfort. So that will keep people coming through the doors, the good customers that actually coming in there to make purchases. But for as mitigating the whole problem of somebody stealing, it's all about how desperate that person is. I mean, you can have all the security in the world for anything. It's all about how desperate the person that's actually the perp that's actually committing the crime. If somebody if somebody hungry and they go in Walmart, you can have all the cameras and police in the world, they're gonna get some food. You know, so it's all about how desperate that person is. You can have all the security devices in the world. If they want it, they're gonna get it. And like I don't know if it was middleman or Dennis that mentioned, putting your employees in danger. I mean, that could be looked at that way. Person coming in and you see them stealing, they look down and see you got a camera. They might shoot you just to take the camera. You never know. You don't know how this is going to pan out. So, is it a bad idea? I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's a good idea. And like Dennis said, I mean, you can run the store out of business, or you can run the store out of the neighborhood, So now you got to drive another 20 miles just to find that store because you let the people run it out of the neighborhood. So, I mean, it's pros and cons in it. But like I said, you can never have enough security when you're talking about mitigating a problem. Um, you know, Is other stores going to adopt this? I mean, I've pretty much already seen that at Walmart already. Walmart already have people walking around with earpieces and cameras on their body. Um, Now, the advantage I see is for resellers that goes into these stores and get harassed by customers saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have that camera on," and "Why are you recording?" and all that stuff. Hey, now what you gonna say? Everybody in the store walking around with a camera now, so maybe the reseller will stop being harassed about just going in to do footage, so that they can be a content creator on YouTube. So it's a pros and cons in it. Anybody else got anything to add to that? All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this last giveaway. Mankind, middleman, you can't participate. Oh, well, you gave away the gift, so that's fine. Yeah, you'll be able to participate in this, but
Uh,
anybody on the panel don't want to participate? Chris? All right, you go ahead and write down the number. I ain't gonna middleman all in my head, bro. So you go ahead and write down the number. From 1 to 20, if y'all interested in this item right here, Mankind, which is a WWE legend, put your number in the chat from 1 to 20. Chris got the number, not me. Because middleman, boy, I tell you.
Chris got the number.
Chris got the number.
I don't know. Chris might do 17, something like that.
Hey, man, you don't want to call out your number, man, till I drop the X's. If you're gonna participate. Let's see.
Good. No, good.
All right, go ahead and drop your numbers. I'm gonna drop these X's in 10 seconds. This item right here, right now, is probably about $30, but they didn't make a lot of these, so if you're able to hold on to it to around Q4, this is probably gonna be a $50 item or more.
Where you pick them up at?
Huh? What was that?
Where did you get him at?
Ringside Collectibles. I put it out there.
Oh, okay.
Share is 1 to 20. 1 to 20. If you want to change the number right fast, it's 1 to 20.
I
All
bet
right,
you
get ready
Chris
to
got
drop
11, right, Chris?
All right. All right, Cheryl got in there 18. Chris, what's the number, man? This dude, man, come on, brother.
He didn't send it to you?
He might have sent
He didn't send it to you?
He was on the phone. Check your messages or your Instagram, Buffalo. He might have sent it to you.
Nah, he didn't send me nothing. Mm-mm.
Well, you got the
He
history.
went back there to ask his wife.
Chris, come on with the number, guy. Yeah, one job.
You're muted.
Man.
We need to, you're muted, man. What's the number?
It's 9, bro.
9.
Number is 9.
All right, who close? All right. Randy at Moon Valley got number 9. All right. Anybody else close? I mean, got 9? No. All right. Randy, send me your address on Instagram and I get that mailed out to you. It's a nice item.
Congratulations, Randy.
All right. She said, "Oh my God." All right. Congratulations. Definitely send me your address. I get that mailed out to you. So we're gonna go around the room. We're gonna start out with a special guest. Dennis, if you got anything that you want to promote, this is the time to do it. Go ahead and give a plug to your businesses or your channels or whatever you like to do.
Yeah, man. I'll go ahead. I'm just starting back up on the social journey, so if you start staying tuned to my channel, you'll start seeing more financial content coming out. Definitely going to be doing some financial reviews of different finance books and kind of talking about that, as well as if you go and follow, and I think that was Dennis Woodbine Official on Instagram, as well as Better Vacation Stays on Instagram. If you want to go visit the property in West Palm Beach, we have that. And we're about to bring out a couple more properties down here in West Palm Beach. So yeah, Better Vacation Stays. We do direct rentals. You don't have to book to us through Airbnb or their sites. You can book to us direct, and everything can be that way. So, we're 8 minutes away from the beach in West Palm Beach. It's just around the corner. There's a Walmart 3 minutes away from us. And, you got mango trees in the backyard right now. And hey, if you want to do a giveaway, Buffalo, I got a bunch of fresh mangoes out here right now. We'll do a giveaway for a box of mangoes. you know,
Are you
and
so
Hey,
you actually in Florida right now?
yeah, I'm in Florida right now. I got like,
hey,
Okay.
hey, you know what? No, no,
bro,
no.
I'm in Florida too.
Huh? You know what? He sent me the toys for the kids. You know what? So the middleman, if middleman connect with me on Instagram, shoot me your address, man. I'll send you a box of mangoes. Probably like 9 fresh mangoes right off the tree, man. So,
Hey,
but
that's
yeah,
what I'm talking about.
yeah, there you go, man. I had it came back. I'm like, oh, we got to do an exchange for exchange, man. But nah, so better vacation stays out here in West Palm Beach, man. We got mango trees, we got avocado trees on the property. We got Bermuda cherry trees, so it's a wonderful stay. 1/3 of an acre in the backyard to chill and relax with the family. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, So yeah, definitely connect with me on Instagram.
All right. And the link to the property is in your Instagram, right?
Yeah, just go
The
to Better.
website, rather, the website, right?
Yeah, you just go to Better
And you can
Vacation.
book it from there.
Yep.
Okay.
You can connect with us through Instagram anywhere, Better Vacation Stays, or you just connect with me directly at Dennis Woodbine Official, and you can get the property, book it directly. Down here, if you're booking directly with me, the price is $110 per night. Any night, we're not fluctuating whether weekends or week times. It's just $120 plus the cleaning fee, and that's it.
All right. Middleman, you see that message right there, man?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't looking for nothing in return. The
Hey, man, it
mangoes
don't matter, bro.
sparked my
Hey,
interest
it
because
don't matter, man. You can't stop the blessings, bro. It ain't matter what you looking for.
I hey, I've been wanting to buy some mango trees for our yard anyway, but I ride around Florida a lot, and that's all I see right now. Mangoes galore everywhere.
Yeah,
Just everywhere. It's that
he's
time of the
close
year.
to West Palm. All right. So, all right, Chris, you got anything? And then we're gonna move the middleman and close it out.
Oh man, my weekend is started today. I listed 38 Funkos today.
Wow.
So all weekend, man, I'm challenging myself, man. My goal is to try to get over 250 things listed. So that's what I got going on. To the wifey want to drag me out to go do some other stuff. But other than that, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm challenging myself all the way. I'm not doing nothing Sunday. And y'all know why. I'm eating, smiling, and chilling. That's it. I ain't doing nothing else. Eating, smiling, and chilling Sunday. God bless to all you fathers out there. Mother fathers, father fathers, all the above. And that's it.
All right.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank Lisette, New England Bedroom. She arranged me to be they hang out this Wednesday. Tune in. I'm gonna reach out to you, Lisette, and see the that you're asking for. What I'm gonna do is schedule some whatnot shows. So anybody who's on whatnot and looking to purchase any action figures, go on whatnot. I should be scheduling some shows pretty soon. Going to follow me, subscribe, whatever. This weekend is just gonna be listening weekend, and Sunday, like Chris said, it'll be chill time. You know what I mean? That's all it's gonna be for me. Have a couple beers and play tag with my wife, and that's about it. But hey, so I hope everybody have a good weekend. I'm sorry for the internet issues,
hey, man,
but
cool.
we have some storms down here in Florida. They should be coming your way. They should be coming your way. But it's killing Lakeland right now.
Oh, you in Lakeland?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Well,
yeah. So
I know you was
you said so okay.
The dropped off again. Dennis, when you gonna get back up to Maryland area?
Yeah, we're gonna probably be heading back out that way next week. But
Okay. I just
don't worry.
checking because I don't want to ship it and then it get there and y'all still back
Oh
in
no, ship
Florida.
it, man. The assistant goes over to the house.
Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool,
I got
cool.
somebody that goes over to the house and checks on stuff, man. So
Okay, cool,
she
cool.
goes there daily and checks on. So
All
you
right,
can send it
all
to the
right,
house.
all
Yeah.
right, no problem. All right, so first off, I want to thank our special guest for coming out tonight, dropping those gems like I knew he would. Every time we have Dennis on the show, like I say, he's very transparent about what he do in his business. He's very transparent about the information that he share when it's referenced to building up your credit and how you can get your credit score to the numbers that you're looking for. I want to give a shout out to the chat. Thank you all for your involvement. Thank you all for sharing the show, pushing it out, getting us people to come out and support the channel. Thanks for all the shout outs for Father's Day. Father's Day. Uh, this is my granddaughter calling. Hold on, neighbor. So Father's Day for me, I'm gonna chill for a little bit, but I'm gonna still work because I got a lot I'm trying to get done on the Amazon side. But with that being said, bring middleman back in here. I just want to let you all know that I want to show you gratitude. That's why I do the giveaways every week to the audience. Thank you all for coming out. Please like, share this channel to people that are in your circle. And you all have a great weekend. Defend the hustle. See you all next week.